Yes, here we are again. And as I rearrange the scenario of what's going on around me, and hey, hello, hi, Evita. Uh, yeah, oh, great, my evening. Yes. Oh, yes, I'm here. And you know what? This is a new moon in Sagittarius. And, you know, I've been talking to a lot of people who seem to be going through particularly tough times, really tough times. Now, this new moon in Sagittarius might just be the shift of energy we all need because Sagittarius is a joyful sign. Hi, Gem. It's good to see you here. So, Sagittarius is a happy sign. It's ruled by Jupiter. It's also about higher learning and higher education, educating ourselves and each other. I had the most fascinating, and it kind of links in with the moon in Sagittarius. I had the most fascinating tutorial with my astrology mentor, tutor, teacher today. And, I've never really mentioned this much to anyone, and I'm just going to credit her because her name is Alison Chester Lambert. But to be a anywhere decent astrologer, you need to have a very, very good understanding and base in astronomy. You need to understand how the solar system worked. So I had an hour and a half with her today as she did a refresher course with me, reminding me about where we are in our, not just our solar system, but in our galaxy, in the Milky Way, in our little part of the universe, and then the universe, and beyond that, the multiverse. But people don't really talk about that yet. But this new moon in Sagittarius is at 20 degrees and 39 minutes. Now, if you know your chart and you know where Sagittarius is, I'm just trying to see if I can read some of your, what is the temperature in Malta? We've had a beautiful day in Malta. It's been sunny, it's been beautiful, it's been gorgeous, and about 20 degrees. But it's cold inside because we have these stone walls which hold the damp. So it's cold indoors. Hi from Denmark. Now, I have a very good friend who lives in Denmark, and she said it's cold there at the moment. Miserable, cold, and effing damp. So I hope you're well wrapped up. So listen, just let me tell you a little bit about this new moon in Sagittarius. It's at 20 degrees and 39 minutes. The galactic center, which is where I'm trying to get to, which actually metaphorically is where we're all trying to get to, is at 26, round about 26, 27 degrees. Now, the galactic center is what our solar system with our little sun, it's only a baby sun, spins like this round in the Milky Way. And we all spin round in the Milky Way, the galactic center, which has a magnetic and gravitational pull on us. So, when people say to me, and this is not directed at anyone because nobody has actually said this to me recently, that they don't really understand astrology or astrology is just mumbo jumbo. It's actually not, because the whole essence of understanding astrology is the fact that we live on a rock spinning round that in turn spins around a sun. The sun is spinning round. It takes 7 of our days to spin round, to rotate. And in turn, our solar system is spinning round within the Milky Way, that all these galaxies in the Milky Way are spinning round each other and somehow not colliding. And we're all held together by the galactic center. Isn't that cool? I mean, hey, let's think about this. The reason I talk about this is because the galactic center is at 26 to 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And anyone born in the years 55, maybe 56, will have their node at the galactic center of 26 degrees Sagittarius. So there is a generation of which I belong to that have our North Node conjunct the galactic center, which means that we are actually here to give this information out at the right time. And you know, everything is about timing. One of you lovely, lovely people who may or may not be watching tonight said, you didn't mention Saturn in your overviews of 2024. No, I didn't. Because I can't possibly mention everything that is going to be happening next year, 2024. But let me tell you, 2024 is the year when we need to prepare for what will be coming in 2025 and beyond. Let me see what you are saying down here. Hi, late 54 too. Yes, probably, because it's a narrow window, Maggie. So, do you know Hogarth's Global Astrology channel? Yes, I have heard of it and I have seen it. He's good in Vedic astrology. Okay. Okay. If the two of you with your different astrology would be so cool. Well, hey, Hogarth, if you're out there watching or you hear of me, let's do it. Let's get together. Let's make astrology. Why not? Because the more that astrologers work together and bring in and give out the knowledge of what we are actually channeling directly from the galactic center. This is a Sagittarius new moon. Jupiter, my big boy Jupiter, our planet of expansion, luck, opportunity, rules Sagittarius. So therefore, it rules the galactic center. So while we just get our heads around that, are we then living in a time where we have to be so super mindful of what we wish for? Because I don't think any of us have yet comprehended the power that we hold in ourselves to bring in and manifest what we think we want. Because, you know, sometimes what we've wanted and we don't get turns into a blessing. And that's a little bit of what the energy is about with this particular new moon. Hi, Patsy in rainy London. Hi, Teresa from Boston. Rainy, wet Caribbean as well with Mina. Okay, good morning, 9:40 a.m. from Coyle, Washington. Woo! I love that, Manuela. Is there a planet that stands for common sense? Yes, Saturn. And maybe that's where I may have or should have brought Saturn into the equation of my 2024 readings. And you know me well now. I am only too quick to stand up and be counted astrologically and to agree when maybe I should have taken a particular road and I didn't. But then we can look at it in the other way and say, but maybe it wasn't the right time. So maybe what I may have said about Saturn in 2024, we're not quite ready to hear because I'm not quite ready to formulate it. And it needs to be formulated slowly. Sanit. There's a there's a village up the road called Sanat. I must have just slipped into the language of Gosseton for a moment. I do apologise. So there's a rainy Cornwall down there. Hi. Let me just have a sip of water because I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is that the fact that I didn't mention Saturn is actually, with Saturn's wisdom, all about timing. Timing is key to everything. And sometimes souls come into this realm, onto this planet, into this dimension, and they peak too soon. And they burn out like a sparkler. If you feel you have something that you should be giving, offering the planet in terms of understanding and teaching, look at your chart or get an astrologer like myself to look at your chart. And then we get the timing. Because sometimes, I still think about it in terms of who is here now listening to this. Because I would say that all of you, whether you stay for a few minutes or the whole session, are meant to hear what I'm saying now and interpret it in the way that is right for you. And yes, waiting for the mothership. And I love your name. Timing is key. Patience is really hard. You are so right. Good morning from Oregon. Oh, your kitten's walking on your laptop, Maggie. Oh, bless. Don't you just love these pussycats? Mine are still, Rudy Red is still getting terrorized by Iggy Poo Poo, but it will sort itself out. It's timing. So I'm just letting them get on with it. Let's just come back to the new moon in Sagittarius and the fact that I think this is a super cool and really good new moon. And a moon that you can think about inviting into your lives that which is meant for you, for the highest good of yourself and for the highest good of others. Remember, that is the way we work with the law of attraction. We do not have copious amounts of wish lists and visualization boards, and loads of people will hate me for saying this. I have created the life I have, which is the life I love, through hard work, dedication, and faith. Faith that what is unfolding for me now, including a lot of the challenging bits and difficult bits, like my back problems and back surgery. What this is about is that everything comes at the right time. This new moon, if we look at what Saturn is doing, it's really interesting, because Saturn really is not doing much at all. It's trining Vesta. Vesta is a Vestal Virgin. So make of that what you will. Saturn is semi-sextiling Chiron, but it's very weak. And actually, coming on to Chiron, our wounded healer, this is a moon about healing, and not just healing in terms of whatever physical healing there might be. This is healing to do with relationships, with friends, with family, with the self. Mostly with the self. And also a reminder, it's a trine. Chiron is trining the new moon in Sagittarius. If I sound a bit stuffed up, it's because I am. And I don't know what's making my sinuses all blocked up tonight. I think it's just, I had the air conditioning on earlier with heat, and I've turned them off. And now I sound like I'm talking from the bottom of the ocean. So I'm ever so sorry. So I will try and enunciate beautifully to get my message across. But Chiron in Aries is trining the new moon in Sagittarius. So let's just think about this for a minute. Chiron is that part of us where we keep making the same mistake. The wound that never heals. So let's just park that here. We all have a wound that never heals. Chiron is inviting the healing in. And it's making a harmonious aspect to our new moon in Sagittarius that is broadly conjunct the galactic center. So if we pull on the energy, you just think of the galactic center. It's like the word that's come into my head is a smorgasbord of quantum energies that swirl around in a kind of nursery of creation. And because this new moon is conjunct the galactic center, it is giving us all the opportunity to pull from this nursery of galaxies, of opportunities, of luck, of expansion, of ideas, of learning. It's giving us all the opportunity through its energy to allow ourselves to tune in, to raise our frequencies to that level where we tune in to what the new moon can bring us. And really, when we come to the timing aspect, it's about having an absolute blank canvas. Why not sit back and pretend it's Christmas Eve? And you don't know what is in that lovely, mysterious, wrapped package under the tree that says, "For you, with love, the galactic center and the new moon in Sagittarius." You know, this new moon is followed by a full moon, and that's just a few days after Christmas Day, and it's in Cancer. So let me see what we are chatting about. So there's a lot of good evenings going on, sending healing and love. Absolutely, we have to send healing and love. Yeah, I feel fine. It's just I can't speak because my nose is all bunged up. But thank you. Let's look at some of the other aspects of this new moon to see how it helps that wonderful galactic nursery, our smorgasbord, at the center of our Milky Way, our galactic center. We have both the sun and moon in Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center, conjunct Mars. Mars, a planet of action energy, a fire planet, a planet of assertion. He's also our god of war. Could we perhaps intuit in, wish in, bring in some healing to the war-torn areas of our planet with this new moon? Could we perhaps collectively wish that our world leaders see something called some common sense, which somebody mentioned earlier, and as I said, that's what brings in the planet Saturn, because the planet Saturn is about boundaries, being an adult, and about common sense. And really, to have common sense, we have to be inhabiting our our adult self. Although sometimes, and I'm not going to forget about this, sometimes children, out of the mouths of babes and children, can come the obvious and a lot of common sense. Jen, bless you, you're learning to adult at 40. Well, you're way ahead of me, my love, because I don't think I began to learn how to adult till I was an orphan. In other words, both my parents had died, and that was at the age of 60. My father died when I was 48. My mother died when I was 60. And then I had to grow up very fast. And since then, I've tried to cling on to vestiges of youth and play and childlike kind of behavior, but it doesn't sit well with where I want to go. It does not mean that adulting is not playful. Don't misunderstand me. But there's a difference between being a playful adult, a grown up, and embracing the whole that we can become. Saturn helps us do that. Everybody thinks that Saturn is so serious, it can't have fun. And I think Saturn has got some bad press along the way. And, you know, this, I know, surprises a lot of people when I remind them that it is an archetypal feminine energy, as is Pluto, even though they are masculine names that are assigned to them. But Saturn is about learning and about teaching as well. So Saturn is, yes, Aphrodite goddess. Of course, we love having fun. Sagittarius moon, fantastic. So Saturn is, what we forget is that when Saturn does a transit, let's get down to basics. If you're having your Saturn return, okay, so you have your first one, 28, 29, your second one, 58, 59, your third one, 88, 89, if you're still around at that point. My mother passed on her third Saturn return. That doesn't mean everybody passes on their third Saturn return, so I add that in. And what happens with Saturn is that, and all the planets, they often, these outer planets, they have a kind of flow like an ocean. They move into a sign, they move backwards, they move forwards, they move retrograde. And as they aspect one of your personal planets, say the moon or the sun, they will probably, in this transit, do that around 3 times. By the third hit with Saturn, you're meant to have learnt the lesson that Saturn was trying to teach you. And so Saturn at this point gives you the reward of all your hard work. Saturn is also known as Chronos. Chronos is the golden age. So there is this wonderful sense of magic about old age being the golden age, the time, the golden era, the time when we sit back with the experience of our lives, of an ability to view and look back at where we've learnt, where we've become who we need to become, and how that has unfolded, so that this third age or this third transit of Saturn that we can get to a personal planet with a square, with a trine, with a conjunction, with a Saturn return, it brings its reward. If you haven't done the learning, if you've just gone, then Saturn will create an event in your life which makes you slow down, which means that you have to really look at the future and where you are going. Now, as you know, I use Placidus tropical Placidus for my system. I do it because I love this word smorgasbord as well at the moment. I'm totally Scandian Nordic at the moment. And because it brings in this wonderful sense of connection, of all these energies just kind of merging together and making this beautiful kind of tray of wonderful delicacies and dishes that we can feed from and learn from and eat from. And so basically, with this new moon, and I also use universal time. So this is why I'm talking about tropical Placidus. What's interesting is the moon hasn't even gone new yet. It's still 17, 18, 19, 20, still 3 degrees away from going new. So if you do want to sit quietly after this video, if you've been watching it live, and just give a thought to what you'd like to heal in your life, what relationships need healing, then you've actually got quite a few hours to do it. Okay, so you've got about 3-4 hours before the moon goes new. The other thing that I want to say about this new moon in Sagittarius is that because I use universal time, which means it gives us a longitude and latitude of 0000. So it is like the absolute central center point of our particular planet. So the chart gives us the 4 quadrants are mutable. Sagittarius, as you know, is a mutable sign. It's a fire sign, so it has energy, power, and action. And this new moon, therefore, has a lot of energy. And the new moon is right in the bottom hemisphere of the chart. If you go to my new moon in Sagittarius video, the pre-recorded one, where I go through your individual signs, you will see that the wonderful Jerry has plopped or dropped a lovely chart up above this shoulder. And I have no idea how to do that technically, so I can't do it now. So you're all having wonderful chats about the weather. Is this something to do with the new moon in Sagittarius, I ask myself? Well, moving back to the chart, so the rising sign for this chart is Virgo. Be careful you don't get caught in the details. Remember, Virgo is a sign about detail and often not ever really getting round to completing something. The descendant is Pisces. No boundaries. All over the place. Pisceans are really going through the mill a bit at the moment. They are in a period of dissolution. Neptune, their ruling planet, has gone direct. And Saturn, that is in Pisces, is moving direct, and it's at 1 degree, and it's going to keep moving forwards, trying to put some containment on this dissolution, this kind of confusion and delusion and inability to see clearly everything that is happening. So if you know any Pisceans, be gentle with them. They're going through quite a rough time. So what else do I want to tell you about? Oh yes, Venus in Scorpio, opposite Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter's still retrograde, but it goes direct at the end of December, which of course is the month we're in. And Venus, remember, is the planet of finance. It's also the planet of love and relationship. It's also the planet of self-worth. Now in Scorpio, because it's opposite the sign it rules, Taurus, it's known as being in its fall. So Venus in Scorpio is pulling on the energies of Jupiter, our planet of expansion that just by chance rules Taurus. And Jupiter is absolutely expanding our feelings at the moment of wanting to splash out and, oh, just go and buy it. I don't care that it's really expensive. I want it. Be mindful. Be careful. Because this Venus in Scorpio is really pulling on those energies, and you just need to be mindful and careful that you don't actually overspend. In terms of love and relationship, then this is about having your heart gouged out and cut in little pieces, and a feeling in some ways that how can your heart break anymore? So if you're in any situation like that, cool it. Wait for this energy to pass. Don't get caught up in the overthinking of it, because now we come to what is the highlight of tomorrow, the 13th. Mercury, our planet of communication, goes retrograde tomorrow in Capricorn. And it will retrograde itself all the way back into Sagittarius. And when it finally goes direct, it will be in Sagittarius, and that won't be till January the 2nd. But it is a good way to start the new year off. But remember, we've been in Mercury retrograde shadow now for about 2 weeks. And I don't know about you, but I've had no end of appointments changed, messages lost, emails go astray, just general technological kind of crap going on, and difficulties, and all these kind of upgrades that everything does, whether it's Windows or Mac, it just upgrades without even asking you, and you think, I don't even know where I am anymore. And what are we saying down here? You've got your Venus in Scorpio, and your heart has been wrenched many times. Oh, Maggie, I'm so sorry. That is, and Shirley, you too. That's difficult. And okay, I want to see what BL Joss is saying. With the arrival of Pluto in Aquarius, your boyfriend will have had the visit of all planets in his sign in his lifetime. Something will not have known in mine. Whoa, yeah, that is big stuff. That is big stuff. So your appointment was rescheduled a minute after it was meant to start. Gosh, wow. Yeah, we've already been having the Mercury retrograde crap, I'm afraid. And when is that changing for Pisces? Oh dear, Pisces. Listen, Pisces, Saturn is going to be in your sign for a good 18 months, nearly 2 years. There is a massive conjunction that it has with Neptune, and it's at something like 0 degree of Aries. Just let me see if I can find it, because it is actually quite phenomenal. And I just have to see where it is. Saturn. Right. Okay. So, yeah, 2025, mid 2025, we have this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune at the end degree of Pisces, at the beginning degree of Aries. This is massive. That's why I'm saying, if you listen to my 2024 videos, they're all up now. There's no more to come up. All 12 zodiac signs are up, and the overview. Listen to the overview. It will really give you a much deeper insight into what to expect for 2024. 2024 is a year of preparation. It's going to be an exciting time. And bless her, the lovely astrologer Pam Gregory, and I mentioned this the other night, she has suggested the best way to go into 2024 is with excitement and anticipation and not with fear. Because you know what? And this is how the law of attraction works. You live a fear-based life, you're just going to get more stuff to make you fearful. You live a life of excitement, and today's going to be an amazing day. And even if it just turns out at the end to be a kind of so-so day, maybe it would have been a lot worse if you'd been thinking, oh my God, it's another day and it's all going to be awful. So Pluto is leaving your boyfriend's rising sign to enter his sun sign. Oh gosh, he's going to have fun. Well, he is going to be one of these pioneering teachers, I think, of the future. If he's not, why not? So yeah, Jem, you love Pam. She's awesome. Awesome. If none of you know Pam Gregory, check her out. Also check out Google my astrological teacher and mentor, Alison Chester Lambert. Her books are awesome, and she's got a new one coming out next year that I think is all about the dwarf planets, and I will be interviewing her on my channel. She is one pretty amazing lady. She kind of keeps a low profile, but she's awesome. So I just want to give you the heads up about that. So yes, Mercury going retrograde. I think we're going to find over Christmas and New Year that a lot of the plans that we've made will get delayed, changed. People turn up late, don't turn up at all. Things get misunderstood. People go missing. People don't get messages. People think, why wasn't I invited? There could be a lot of just kind of difficult stuff like that that goes on through Christmas and New Year. And remember, to start with, Mercury is going to be in the early degrees of Capricorn. By about the 22nd, it moves back into Sagittarius, where it gains a little bit more excitement and fire. But I think what happens is we all get a little bit more short-tempered, because remember, then Mercury is in the sign opposite the sign it rules. It will be in Sagittarius, so it will be in its fall. So we could all find ourselves getting irritated and arguing about, that's my parking space, two cars going like this, trying to get into the parking space. Please, guys, cool it. It's one day. Well, maybe two. Listen, why don't we all try over Christmas and New Year for peace on earth and goodwill to all men? And then, what's this silver screen? You're tempted to color your hair copper red, but you feel like that's the Mercury retrograde talking. Well, I would listen to my weekly overview, because the moon will tell you when it's waning. When it's waning, it's about getting rid of, changing. When it's waxing, it's about bringing in. So you can interpret that whichever way you want. How long is Saturn direct? I'm not sure what you're asking me there. Saturn will probably do another retrograde, but it doesn't go back to these early degrees. But, I'm going to do a video next year about Saturn. So we will be looking at Saturn in Pisces in depth. I'm going to do quite a few videos about all these individual planets. So, that is going to come. So I'm mindful, and I have to tell you this. Because I am going to do it. My lovely lady that looks after me in terms of the business said, don't promise what you can't deliver. And she's right. And I do promise things, and sometimes with the channel, and I'm not always able to deliver. Mostly I do. Anyway, I will do my best to deliver everything that is promised. And I promise you that I will do my best to deliver everything promised. And that's my new moon kind of intention. So, oh, bless you. Thank you for your insight. You decided to practice laughing in the face of anything that usually frustrates or upsets me. Yes, you want laughter and joy to be your default setting. Yeah. You know, in the Bible, this is what the divine called turning the other cheek, going, that's okay, mate. Forget it. No problem. Let's let it go. Peace on earth to you. Good, wish you well. If only we stopped reacting badly to things. We need to respond. We need to take that step back and look at what's going on and respond to what's going on. Just like Santa, yes. Oh, Janice, I'm so glad to see that you're coping much better than you have in the past. That's brilliant. So I'm really glad to hear that. Listen, I'm going to start bringing things to a close because I've said most of what I needed to say tonight, but I just want to say that today I have been addressing a lot of the messages via the website. Some of them I won't have got to yet to come back to you, but I will. So I'm getting there. I'm working my way through them because I'm kind of trying to wind down with clients over the next couple of weeks so that I've got room to answer all these emails and all the messages that come on the website. And just to remind you that the website has a page called Private Sessions, which gives you the fee, which is 150 euros. That's about 161 US dollars, just to give you a quick reference point for an hour's natal session. And that is for looking at your natal chart, transits, questions. And I'm very interactive. I don't want someone sitting there not saying a word. I want someone who is going to talk to me and listen and work with me with their chart. And remember that I don't have a booking system set up on my website at this point. That will happen at some point, but it's not ready yet. I am still answering each email from all of you myself and booking you in to my calendar. And I know it's like I'm doing it the dinosaur way. And I know that it's not easy to make the payment. But PayPal, you don't need to have an account. You pay by credit card as a guest. So I just want to sort of underline that for you because it's just so important that you know that my website just isn't really, everything took off. We weren't prepared for the amount of lovely people, all of you, that would come to us. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you for being there, for asking me to do your charts. The people I haven't got back to yet, I will very soon. And the people that I have got back to, get back to me so that we can book your session in. And listen, it's a new moon in Sagittarius. It's about joy. Go and listen to some pretty happy music. Listen to some Christmas carols tonight. Just be joyful. Wake up in the morning and just decide, I'm going to be happy today. Not even putting it in the future like that. Just say, I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm happy. And, you make it a habit. You recalibrate your brain into, I'm happy. So let me see what your You built it and we came. It's so fun. I'm looking for the joy and humor in everything. Yes, that's what we have to do, Silver Scream. Um, oh, thank you, Susan. Promises what he can deliver. That's right. Uh, I'll look at all your messages later, although somehow the live chat disappears and I can't find it. So I just don't know where it goes. But I'm going to go now because it's now 7:20 local time in Malta. And I'm going to go and have my supper. And listen, I just wish you a really blessed new moon. We're still in the energy of it building up. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, share with your friends. And if any of you out there have a personal inline to Hogarth's astrology channel, tell him about me, because I did actually email him a few months, well, actually a couple of years ago. No reply. So there we go. So, but in the meantime, bless you all, love you all, and I really look forward to seeing you very, very soon. And I'm now going to end the live stream. And this is where you get the inane grin for me while it says, "Are you sure you want to exit this function?" And I go, "Yes, I am sure." Love to you all. Love you loads. See you soon. Bye for now.